Before the world knew her name, Elin Nordegren lived a quiet and grounded life in Stockholm, Sweden. Raised in a family that valued education, discipline, and privacy, she was never someone chasing fame or attention. Her mother, a respected public servant, and her father, a journalist, created an environment focused on intellect rather than celebrity. Elin studied, worked part-time, and even modeled briefly, not for recognition, but to support herself. When she later moved to the United States, it wasn't to pursue stardom, but to work as a nanny. At that point, her life was simple and structured, far removed from the global spotlight she would soon find herself in. A chance meeting that changed everything. Elin's introduction to the world of professional sports came through her work with a golfing family, which eventually led her to meet Tiger Woods. At the time, he was at the peak of his career, dominant, admired, and globally recognized. Interestingly, Elin was initially hesitant to engage with someone so famous. She preferred a low-profile life and understood the complications that came with public attention. However, over time, their connection grew. What started as a cautious interaction turned into a relationship that quickly captured global interest. Their story at first felt like a modern fairy tale, two very different worlds coming together in a seemingly perfect union. A marriage in the spotlight. By 2004, Elin and Tiger were married in a private yet lavish ceremony, marking the beginning of a highly visible chapter in her life. They settled into a luxurious home in Florida and soon welcomed 2 children, building what appeared to be a stable and happy family. Despite being married to one of the most famous athletes in the world, Elin remained intensely private. She avoided interviews, stayed away from media attention, and focused on her role as a mother. To many, they represented the ideal family, successful, composed, and seemingly untouched by the pressures of fame. But behind that carefully managed image, life in the spotlight carried challenges that were not always visible. Pressure. Behind the perfect image. Living alongside a global icon meant constant scrutiny. Every move, no matter how small, had the potential to become a headline. For someone like Elin, who never sought public attention, this lifestyle was difficult to adjust to. The demands of maintaining privacy while being part of such a high-profile relationship created an ongoing tension. Meanwhile, Tiger Woods was managing immense professional pressure, injuries, and the expectations of maintaining a flawless public image. Over time, these combined pressures began to strain the balance between their private life and public persona, even if those cracks were not immediately visible to the outside world. When everything changed. In 2009, a sudden and highly public incident brought intense media attention to their personal lives. What followed was a period of widespread speculation and coverage that placed their marriage under a global microscope. The situation quickly escalated, with numerous reports and stories dominating headlines. For Elin, this was an overwhelming experience. Her private life had suddenly become public conversation. Despite the noise surrounding her, she chose not to engage with the media frenzy. Her silence stood out in a culture that often expects public reactions, and it shaped how many people perceived her during that difficult time. Choosing dignity over drama throughout the media storm, Elin remained composed and largely silent. She did not give interviews or attempt to control the narrative. Instead, she focused on her children and maintaining a sense of stability for them. In 2010, the couple finalized their divorce through a straightforward legal process. While the separation attracted significant attention, Elin's approach remained consistent, calm, private, and centered on family. When she eventually spoke publicly, it was measured and honest, reflecting both the emotional impact of the experience and her desire to move forward. Her response earned respect for its dignity and restraint during an otherwise highly public situation, rebuilding life on her own terms. After the divorce, Elin made a choice that surprised many. She stepped away from the spotlight entirely and focused on personal growth. She enrolled at Rollins College, pursuing a degree in psychology. Rather than using her public profile for attention or business ventures, she committed herself to education. She graduated with top honors, demonstrating dedication and discipline. This chapter of her life marked a shift from being known primarily through her past relationship to building her own identity. It was a quiet but powerful transformation, showing that reinvention doesn't always need to be loud to be meaningful. Quiet success. Beyond the headlines, alongside her academic achievements, Ellen also explored opportunities in real estate. She invested in properties and approached the work with the same privacy that defined her personal life. One of her most notable projects involved rebuilding and later selling a luxury home, reflecting both strategic thinking and independence. Unlike many public figures, she avoided social media and branding opportunities, choosing instead to maintain a low profile. This approach allowed her to create financial stability without returning to the spotlight. Her success became less about public recognition and more about personal fulfillment and control over her own life, finding balance and family. Again, in time, Elin built a new chapter in her personal life, including a relationship with Jordan Cameron. Together, they focused on creating a stable and private environment for their family. She also maintained a cooperative, co-parenting relationship with Tiger Woods, prioritizing their children's well-being above all else. Over the years, both parents have been seen supporting their children's activities, reflecting a shared commitment to family despite past challenges. This balance has allowed Elin to move forward while maintaining a sense of continuity for her children. A life redefined by choice. Today, Elin Nordegren's life looks very different from the one that once placed her at the center of global attention. She lives quietly, focused on family, personal growth, and maintaining the privacy she has always valued. Her journey is not defined by scandal or headlines, but by how she chose to respond and rebuild. Rather than being shaped by a public perception, she created a life on her own terms, steady, independent, and intentionally private. In many ways, that quiet transformation is what makes her story so compelling, proving that strength doesn't always need to be visible to be real.